The use of any cutoff machine can be dangerous. Because cutoff machines are high-speed, fast-cutting power tools, special safety precautions must be observed to reduce the risk of personal injury or fire. It is extremely important that anyone who is going to use or maintain a cutoff machine reads and fully understands the instruction manual and the safety precautions. You must be in good physical condition and mental health and not under the influence of any drugs or alcohol that might impair vision, dexterity, or judgment. Don't operate a cutoff machine when you are fatigued. If you are tired, take a break. You should only operate your cutoff machine in good visibility, daylight, and dry conditions. Be alert of your co-workers and watch for signals they may give you in regards to the work area or emergencies. Never operate your cutoff machine indoors as it produces toxic exhaust fumes. Only use your machine outdoors in well-ventilated areas. Steel cutoff machines are designed for handheld use or operation on a steel cutoff machine cart only. Clear the area where you will be working and avoid stumbling on obstacles and watch out for holes or ditches. Be cautious when working on slopes or uneven ground, and take care if you are working in wet or freezing weather. When operating your cutoff machine by hand, always hold the cutoff machine firmly with both hands. Place your left hand on the front handle and your right hand on the rear handle and throttle trigger, regardless whether you are right-handed or left-handed. Always wrap your fingers tightly around the handles with your thumbs fully wrapped around the handle. Make sure the handles are in good order and free of moisture, oil, or grease. Make sure that whenever you are using your cutoff machine, that you have and maintain good footing and balance. Position the cutoff machine in a way that your body is clear of the cutting attachment as seen here. Never stand in a direct line with the wheel, and never bend over the cutting attachment. It is preferable that you have your left elbow locked when operating the machine. Make sure the wheel guard is adjusted properly so that sparks, dust, and other materials are deflected away from the operator and cannot reach flammable surroundings. To reduce the risk of injury from fire, do not cut into any pipe, drum, or other container without first inspecting it and assuring that it does not contain a volatile or flammable substance. It is essential that you determine the direction of the cut exactly before applying the abrasive wheel to the work. Wheels are constructed for radial pressure only. Lateral side pressure must be avoided. Do not change the direction of the cut during the cut. This may produce a high torsional load on the wheel and may cause it to break or shatter. Never use an abrasive wheel for rough grinding. This can also cause a wheel to break or shatter, resulting in serious or fatal injury. Use your cutoff machine for cutting only. It is not designed for prying or grinding or scooping away objects. To achieve a clean and efficient cut, pull the abrasive wheel across the work or move it to and fro in the cutting direction. Do not use force to push the abrasive wheel into the work. Insert the wheel into the material only as deep as necessary to make the cut. Do not exceed approximately 2 inches in depth per pass. Do not operate in an area where the water or sludge can come into contact with live electric wires or sources. Another tip: whenever you are making long, straight cuts on a wall or a floor using water and have marked your work with a chalk line, paint over the chalk line with a clear spray lacquer prior to cutting. This can help reduce the chance that the water will wash off the chalk line as you work. Never reuse a composite non-diamond abrasive wheel that has previously been used with water. Those wheels need to be discarded once used or at the end of each day of use. Make certain that water does not flow on the composite non-diamond abrasive wheel when the machine is not in use. The wheel can absorb that water, and it can affect the balance of the wheel. It is a good idea to shut off the water to the wheel before the wheel stops at full throttle for approximately 30 to 45 seconds so that excess water will be slung off. And be sure that water is being evenly applied to both sides of the wheel, since uneven distribution can cause one-sided wear. If a cart is being used to make long and straight floor cuts, be sure to sweep away debris from the path of the cart wheels first. Also be sure that the cutting wheel and the cart are in alignment. And when you have completed your work, stop the engine and be sure the wheel has stopped rotating before setting down the cutoff machine. Reactive forces may occur at any time the cutting wheel on your cutoff machine is rotating. If the wheel is slowed or stopped by frictional contact with any solid object or by pinching, reactive forces may occur instantly and with great force, which could result in the operator losing control of the machine, which may, in turn, result in serious or fatal injury. Understanding the causes of these reactive forces may help you avoid loss of control. These reactive forces are categorized as pull-away, climbing, pinching, rotational kickback. The most common of these are pull-away and climbing. If the contact is at the bottom of the wheel, a cutoff machine will try to pull away from the operator, pull away. If the contact is at the front of the wheel may attempt to climb the object being cut, climbing. Pinching occurs when the piece being cut closes on the wheel. If the wheel is severely pinched at the upper quadrant, the wheel may be instantly thrown up and back towards the operator with great force in a rotational kickback motion. The greater the force generated by any of these reactive forces, the more difficult it will be for the operator to control the cutoff machine. Any of these reactive forces may, in some circumstances, cause the operator to lose control of a cutoff machine, allowing the rotating wheel to come into contact with the operator, which could result in severe personal injury or death. Here are some ways that you can reduce the risk of injury from loss of control from reactive forces, including kickback. Hold the cutoff machine firmly with both hands. Maintain good balance and footing at all times. Never cut while standing on a ladder. And if you are working on a scaffold, make certain that it is OSHA approved, secured, and stable. Position the cutoff machine in such a way that your body is clear of the plane of the cutting attachment. Avoid standing in direct line with the wheel. Never bend over the cutting attachment, especially when the guard is pulled back toward the top and there is a risk of reactive forces. Do not cut above shoulder height. Do not cut wood or any other material for which the abrasive wheel is not authorized. Caution: cutoff machines are designed for use with abrasive wheels in good condition only. Machines designed for use with wood cutting or other toothed blades use different types of guarding systems, which provide the protection necessary for those types of blades. Machines such as cutoff machines, which are designed only for use with abrasive wheels, require a different guarding system, which is not designed to provide protection against all dangers presented by circular saw blades, carbide tip blades, rescue blades, or wood cutting or tooth blades. Never cut wood of any type. Never use circular saw blades, carbide tip blades, rescue blades, wood cutting blades, or toothed blades of any nature. Their use increases the risk of injury from blade contact, thrown tips, and reactive forces, including kickback. When cutting with diamond wheels, carefully apply the wheel to the object to be cut at approximately half throttle, and then accelerate to full throttle and continue the rest of the process at full throttle. When using a composite wheel, always begin and continue to cut at full throttle. Do not overreach. Use your cutoff machine for cutting only. It is not designed for prying or shoveling away any objects. Support both sides of the pipe being cut in such a way that the pipe will not shift and pinch or bind the wheel during or at the completion of the cut. Never make a cut that results in a binding of the wheel. Be alert to shifting of the workpiece or anything that could cause the cut to close and pinch the wheel, as demonstrated here. Support the workpiece in such a way that it is secured and that the cut remains open during the entire cutting process. For example, when cutting pipe on the ground, make sure the pipe is on a level surface and secured. Cut approximately 90 degrees around the pipe, roll it over, re-secure the pipe, cut another 90 degrees, and repeat this procedure until the pipe is completely cut. The use of wedges on pipe can be a great aid in this process. When cutting pipe with a diameter up to approximately 16 inches that is beneath ground level, such as a water main, using the following procedure can help reduce the risk of pinching and reactive forces. When possible, avoid long lengths of unsupported pipe in order to reduce the amount of shifting that may occur when the pipe is cut through. Comply with local, regional, and national regulations, such as those from OSHA, on proper trenching. Mark your cut. Then begin the process by cutting the lower half of the pipe, first cutting down from the side until the midpoint of the bottom is reached, and then further up the same side as shown here. Repeat the same process on the other side, making sure that the two bottom cuts meet. Leave enough of the top section uncut at this time to support the pipe. Before completing the cut, support the bottom of the pipe with bricks or wood blocks, or as in this example, with a lanyard tied off to an excavator or other piece of machinery with a hydraulic boom or bucket, to help prevent the pipe from pinching. Once done, mark your second cut if needed, and then support the center section to be cut out, either from the bottom with bricks or wood blocks, or as in this example, by attaching the lanyard to the center of the section to be cut out. Repeat the process as before. Once the final top cut has been made, you can remove the center section of pipe. Use wet cutting if feasible. In a pinch situation, the water can act as a lubricant and reduce the energy of reactive forces. Use extreme caution when re-entering a cut, and do not turn the wheel at an angle or push the wheel into the cut, as this may result in a pinching of the wheel. Be alert for gyroscopic forces that are caused by the rapid spinning of the cutoff wheel. These forces result in opposition to directional change, as seen here, when the operator attempts to move the machine in a sideways direction. When finished with your work, use the following rules for storing your cutoff machine. Remove the wheel and store all of your wheels in an area not exposed to direct sunlight or other sources of heat, that is dry and not exposed to frost. A temperature-controlled area is best. And remember, if you have a composite non-diamond wheel that you have used with water that day, break it and discard it, not to be used again. Clean your machine of dust and other materials, drain the fuel tank into an approved container, and run the engine at idle until it quits, which will purge it of any excess fuel still in the system. And finally, always store your cutoff machine in a dry, secure area where unauthorized persons will not have access to it. We hope this training helps you better understand the safety, maintenance, and operation of your Stihl gasoline-powered cutoff machine. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about Stihl.